Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new. This is Channeled Messages. I hope you had a good weekend. It's Monday. I hope you had a restorative one. For me, it was too short. I need a longer break. Things are heating up. Meaning I'm super busy. Anyway, I hope you're able to restore for the week ahead. Lots going on, lots of protests, lots of dangerous things. It's getting intense. Still feel like we're no longer suspended. It feels more slow, fast, but no suspension. There'll be more protests most definitely this week. You'll continue to observe blundered responses. There's a lot. There's just a lot. Today I'm going to channel the Counsel of Light. I will explain what that is if you guys don't know. I'm pretty sure all of you know what the Counsel of Light is. Anyway, I will also channel Kamala. I have not touched on her energy in quite some time because I figured there was not much to touch on. You gotta let life happen. Her energy is pretty locked in, so I'll see what's going on with her. See what's going on there. See how she's feeling. I'm also gonna pull for her in moving forward. For those of you who don't know what moving forward is where I pull, where I do. I explore. My mind went blank. I pull cards and I read them and I explore the energy on a more expanded. Anyway, that's what I do. Okay. I thought I wasn't recording. I was about to. This is my second time recording because I didn't feel right the first time. Recording the intro, I mean. I have so much to say, but I'm going to share it for moving forward, my thoughts on everything. There's a lot happening. There's a lot going on. But anyway, everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only, informational purposes only. Everything I say here is alleged, even in the comments. If you want a personal reading, you can click more in the description of this video. The link will be there to request a personal reading. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can email me. I hope you know how to email. At Moonlight Energy, just one word, Moonlight Energy 15@gmail.com. Okay, if you still don't know what I mean, just make a comment and ask for my email and I'll give it to you. Okay, so I pulled some cards last night. I wasn't really feeling well this weekend, not like physically, but just energetically. I couldn't, not even, honestly, not the weekend, probably the entire week of last week. I was on and off, starts and stops energetically, where I had problems channeling and getting my energy focused. So personal readings were taking longer than usual. I say up to between 5 and 7 days. Some I try to get it in as before then, but I just couldn't. My energy felt off. I felt mentally tired. I think maybe because I had a busy week last week, but I pulled some cards. I pulled some cards yesterday about what we are going through nationally and globally, because everything that happens sort of have a boomerang effect on everyone in the world, just emotionally alone, and psychologically. And so I was just pulling some cards about exploring the end, and I wanted to sort of, I wanted, is validation the right word? Just to affirm my intuition, and, you know, and I told myself that, you know, I'm having a hard time comprehending, which isn't the truth. Spirit told me. My guides told me, you know, you're not wrong, and it's really about truth, all of this whole thing. So I'll expand on that, and I'll talk about what I was told in the next video. But it really shifted me energetically, I want to say. It just not even about what is happening with the collective, but myself personally, because I was feeling very, well, you know, we go through these, it's like expansion, and people who are in the experience of an awakening, or discovering your gifts, or exploring your gifts, or, you know, whatever it is you are expanding on. It doesn't even necessarily have to be in the realm of the metaphysical or spiritual, you know, but usually it is. But when you question yourself, when you ask yourself, is this real? When you're like, am I a delusional person? No, I know I'm not. It's too many, I've received too many signs and signals in life to shed that idea. And that is the main goal for all of us, I believe, is to shedding ideas about ourselves individually and collectively. Because, I mean, the harmful ones, the harmful ideas. And I every time I get on to channel, when I sit here to do this live and share this process that I'm sort of I'm learning myself, and you guys watch me do this, and you give me such kind words and encouragement, which I'm very grateful for. And at the same time, I feel like I'm like, wow, I'm doing this. I can't believe it that I do this. Anyway, I've been talking a lot, but that's what I wanted to say. I'm learning as I'm doing this. I don't want to say, I have no idea what I'm doing. But there's so much that like I said before, I want to comprehend more, which is important to me. And one of the things, you know, Spirit has told me, now is the time to expand more, teach more, you know, but I'm learning. Anyway, let's get into it. Let me know down if you're experiencing, down in the comments, if you're experiencing the same sort of thing. You know, I would appreciate that. But anyway, I'm going to channel the Counsel of Light. And who is the Counsel of Light? Exactly. And it refers to a group of intergalactic beings, ascendant light beings, okay? They have a purpose of assisting humanity in their spiritual awakening and evolution. A source of guidance, okay? And I wanted to see if I could channel that energy and ask a few questions. And I want to be very careful of how I ask. I've noticed a few weeks ago, a while ago, I was like, yes, things are happening here in our country, but I don't want to make it, these are political driven videos in terms of exploring the political landscape nationally and globally. But sometimes I just feel like it's not all about us, you know? But I think that, anyway, let's get into it. I need water, first of all. Something strange is happening to my throat. I haven't coughed in a long time. Okay, so I'm going to do an invocation. Counsel of Light, luminous guides of wisdom and love, I call upon your presence now. Surround me with clarity, peace, and divine perspective. Illuminate what is true, align me with what is right, and help me receive what serves the highest good. For myself, the collective, and the earth. I open with trust, I receive with gratitude. It feels, I feel very safe. I don't feel nervous. I could feel their energy, and I hear a voice saying, focus on the light. It's very comforting. I don't feel dizzy. It doesn't feel intense. It feels very light. And it feels like energy is being pressed at my temples very gently. Okay. They said, because you aren't fighting it, and they said I can ask my first question. What higher purpose or spiritual contract is being activated through the current political and social disruptions? There needs to be peace. You must learn you must learn to have peace. You must learn the structure of peace and how it truly works. There's no only way forward than to have your lessons given to you. Your lessons are sacred. There will be a reckoning in time that will show you the truth of light. Do not fear it. Do not resist it. Resistance will only cause you pain. The way forward is to know the light will guide you. The sacrifice is needed for your best healing. You all will heal. What can light workers and healers do now to support the realignment of the nation toward its soul path? Continue to spread the word. Ooh, they're showing me something. They're showing me something. I don't know what I'm looking at. It looks like now I'm asking them what is it? And they keep saying it's a gift. They keep saying it is your world, but it doesn't look like Earth. It looks like, I don't know what that is. It looks like a planet that's oddly shaped. And they're saying this is where, and they're referring to my question I just asked. This is where you seek your answers. I could hear humming. It's humming, like energy. That's very strange. He said you will understand in time. He said just know this is the source of the answers you seek. And he's speaking, I said he, sounded like a man. It's like he's speaking of light workers, healers, seers. How can the collective prepare for what is unfolding globally? They said you must know the truth. The truth is not far behind the lies. It must always be uncovered. You must be clear in what you stand for. You must be open to the possibility of change. You mustn't be afraid. There will be a greater understanding. They're showing me images of people protesting. It feels violent. Violence isn't necessary for truth, but the truth comes from it. What energetic timeline is currently unfolding for the U.S.? And how fixed or flexible is it at this point? To know time is to ignore it. Energy is on no such timeline. It is in the actions of humanity. It is in those who seek to release power and regain power. Time is only a measurement of structure, but not necessary for your experience. It is not necessary for the purpose of your experience. Just know that all will be revealed. The truth is not far behind. Okay. Okay. They just was like, all right. Felt like a window closing. They just sort of faded off. I don't feel like I usually feel when I channel this kind of thing. I feel revitalized. Interesting. For one, there were multiple beings, multiple people, I'm calling them people, speaking to me, not at once, but it was, they all answered my question. Each question I asked, each person would answer. Very straight and to the point. I understood completely that the only thing I don't understand was this thing, the structure they were showing me. It was like very oddly shaped. I don't know how to explain it. But what I got in the impression was truth. And it's the same message I keep getting, that I understand. What I understand about truth. What they said about time was interesting. They said it much more. I felt at times they were speaking through me. Some of them. Because I felt when I was speaking, I was very locked in. And at times I felt like myself. Sometimes it felt very like a focused in a way I'm usually not. It wasn't necessarily new knowledge, but it was new in a way of how they helped me understand it, comprehend it. I wasn't confused. When they said time, don't pay attention to it. It doesn't serve its purpose in terms of your experience, in terms of your lesson. The truth is how the truth comes is really what is most important, is what they were saying. Very gently. I really enjoyed this because it wasn't intense like it usually is. I think they were impressing upon me a lesson. The lessons that the collective is receiving is not for a karma or is really, honestly, it felt like they were saying this is for your ascension or your elevation. And it felt like I definitely was not speaking to, I mean, these were, their energy felt so comforting. And it felt like I'm just a speck of energy and compared to being in their presence. Just like, well, this isn't not. They weren't saying what the collective experience now here in this country and globally is not important. They weren't saying that. They were sort of saying like, everything that like with this, everything we're seeing here in our country and what we see globally, it's not new, so to speak. It's racked up incredibly, and it's absurd, and it's like, oh goodness, you're just like, this is really bad. Yes. And what they were impressing upon me after sitting with this connection, sort of just like this truth, almost like it has to be this way because the truth can't be denied. And that's literally what Spirit was telling me last night when I was just like, what is happening? Like, it's not about timeline. Yes, in a physical world, yes, an event will be, it will occur during a time, but focusing on it, it doesn't, it's not important. And that's hard to swallow, but for me now, it's just like, no, yeah, that makes sense. Don't pay attention to time, they said. It's how we behave, what the decisions we make that lead to something falling or something rising. When they decide they're ready, not decide, but when they're loosen their grip on power because of the truth, basically. They can't, because of the truth is right behind those lies and the terribleness, the things that they are doing to humans. And not just in the United States. Okay? But, looking at it in our perspective, it always happens. Doesn't last. Okay. You guys can like the video if you want right now. To pause and take a break. Go get something to drink. Get a snack. I'm going to drink some water. I'm going to channel Kamala. And see what's going on. See, she did speak about what's going on in California and Los Angeles. She posted a statement, and every time I There are very few people in the world that I look at. Like I said before, and I'm not saying this arrogantly, I can look at someone and just be like, yeah, they're powerful, or their energy is, they have so much that they will do in life. I could see that, well, I could see that in other people, but we could hardly ever see it in ourselves, right? But I can look at a person and just know you will go far. You have so much energy and light. Okay, and she's one of them. And I rarely, I don't know, it's very few people who are in the public eye that I go up for or even pay attention to like that. Where I'm like, yeah, that's a great, very few. It's just not my style to, I could count on one hand, but, and I remember when I first saw her and I was like, wow, she is the one. It was 2018, I believe. And I was like, wow, yeah, she's special when I first saw her. And when she decided to run for president the first time, I was like, wow, she is the one. And it took a lot of people to see that. Took a lot of people to recognize that. And unfortunately, we know what happened. And it's unfortunate. And seeing the things that I've seen recently, news articles, hit pieces, just very strange. People, very strange, but not surprising. It's just what happens. It's just what happens. And it's quite annoying. People turn on her, because they don't, she's too quiet, or what is she doing? What is she supposed to do? She doesn't work for the government, but anyway. I don't know, but someone asked me about, I'm going to do a reading about her not wanting the presidency, or not wanting this mess, rather. I don't know what the interpretation is, but I'm going to ask. I'm going to see how she's doing. I'm going to see if I can connect to her energy, and then I will set you free. Okay? Okay. Kamala Harris. She said, "Hi, Kimberly." I said, "How are you?" She said, "I'm fine. How are you?" And she feels very subdued, her energy. I asked her, "What have you been up to?" She said, I have been spending time with my family. Enjoying my time with them. She said enjoying being a citizen and enjoying the work that I have been doing and planning to do. Nice. Good for her. What work is that? What is that? She's talking about Citizens United. Okay, that's what I heard her. She just said that. Citizens United. I know what it is. It's about the campaign funding. Look it up. She's saying something about, I keep hearing the word stop. Stopped. Citizens United is a conservative nonprofit organization in the U.S. founded in 1988. It's known for support of conservatives in politics. And she's talking about that. And she's saying it needs to end. Interesting. She's saying that's part of her plan. Interesting. I asked her if she's still interested in politics. She said, yes, of course I am. She said, I would never stop being interested. I asked her, do you plan on running for governor of California? And she laughed. She said no, I could have if I wanted to. She said, but I'm not sure if that's the right fit for me. Are you still interested in running for president or being president? She said that's a tough question. Sorry, I don't mean to. I'm sorry if I sound insane laughing, but she's saying, smiling. She said it's a tough question. She said yes. She said yes and no, but she's smiling, and she she said yes because it's mine, and no because it's a mess. And she's smiling and saying, I'm not sure I'm willing to clean it up. She said, but I know I can. She's saying the option is there, but she is not her decision to make. And she said, I'm okay with that. She said if the option were given to me, I would say yes. She said this is a big mess, but I have dealt with far bigger messes. She's very much like, my goodness, y'all. She is looking at me as and I could feel what she's implying in the energy is sort of like, you know, this could have all been avoided. I could feel her as she's saying this, this is a big mess. It's very interesting. So interesting. And she's saying, as she's saying, I've had bigger messes. I'm not sure if this is a mess that I'm willing to clean up. She said, I know I can. And she's saying, but it's not my decision to make. And I'm okay with that. And then I could feel that perhaps in the past she wasn't. And it makes me think of the reading I did for her. I think it was the last one where she's sort of that Eight of Cups energy, walking into something where you're walking out of something, you've accepted something, an emotional acceptance. You're walking into a future, you don't quite know where you'll land. And that's what I feel in her energy. It's very interesting. It's much more complex than her saying, I don't want it. Which I figured was what I had a feeling by someone's comment. But it's It's interesting. It's not as black and white as, just so you guys know, it's not as black and white as saying, nah, I don't want this. It's more nuanced and something she has thought about for quite some time. And she is very interesting. She's saying the option is there. She's saying it's very messy. It's a big mess. And in her energy, she's saying this could have been avoided. And why could it have been avoided? If you can tell me. She said they didn't want to take the risk. They didn't want to take the risk to reveal what happened in this election. So here we are. She was very careful with her words. Very, very careful. She said, I do not blame them because the drawback would have been, she's saying, deafening and very bad. The drawback from, what happened. She said, but it could have been avoided. And now this is what we have to deal with. She said, I have no ill will to those who decided to take a harder route. She's saying, the truth always comes out, and she's also saying these are the darker parts. These are the darker parts, she said. In relation to the truth. What we're seeing is what she's saying. What the Trump administration is doing, what we're seeing. Okay. She said it's a dirty job that someone has to do it. She said, I said, in relation to what? And she said, in relation to the truth, in relation to what I know. I said, what do you know? She said, the truth. She said that we did not have a free, and I asked her, what is the truth? We did not have a free or fair election. And she said, when the truth comes out, I will be here. Okay. There you have it. So, it's not as black and white or as simplistic as simply not wanting something. Everything she said would happen has happened. And like she said, yes and no. And she said the option is out of her hands, and she's okay with that. That, you know, they would have to make that choice. And you know, she's not sure if she wants that mess. I kind of feel like in that energy is sort of just like, not an I told you so, but not an I told you so. But she's sort of saying, I'm thinking back to all the things that I saw. The meetings, all that happened. Her saying we could do it this way. And people sort of, it wasn't, I didn't even talk about what I asked her and about Biden. It wasn't him. They advised very strongly against it, but he wanted to do her suggestion. There's no true ill will, I don't feel, in her energy. But she's saying, y'all might have to fix this bed yourselves. I'm not mad at her. I get it. Would she say no? No, she wouldn't. That's too what I felt in her energy. Yes, because it's mine. Yes, I know I could fix it. I'm not afraid. She's not afraid of that. They have to make that choice. And she would make her, not demands, she wants things done in a certain way, and they would have to agree to it, is what I felt in her energy. Those who know, the people want her, and she knows that too. She knew she would win. Okay, all right, so that's all I have for you guys. That was Kamala. Like the video, please. Comment down. Let me know what you think. Honestly, I didn't feel any energy that this wouldn't happen. Meaning, she will still say yes, but she's also just like, and she said the choice is out of her hands. And she's okay with that. She doesn't need to take on that pressure, is what she means. She's not going anywhere. She's very well aware. Her ears to the ground. She's very plugged into everything and what's happening. It is her choice to sort of lay low, because she knows who Donald Trump is. And I feel in her energy, she knows exactly what will come of this. This is why she said it'll get worse before it gets better. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we'll see. All right, guys. Bye.